Should people who are experiencing homelessness have to work or be in treatment in order to get government funded housing? Well, the Trump administration says yes. That's why they're changing the way that they give out grants to organizations that help fight homelessness. But here in Nashville, city leaders say no, that's not how it should be. And that's why they're suing the Trump administration to stop them from making those changes. So last month, the Department of Housing and Urban Development announced a bunch of changes as to how their homelessness grant programs are going to work. And basically, this boils down to switching from a housing first approach to a treatment first approach. And how that works is essentially prioritizing for grant money the organizations that require their clients to either be working or be in support services like therapy, addiction treatment in order to get housing. The Mary Parish Center here in Nashville gets more than $500,000 to support their transitional and permanent housing programs for people who are leaving high risk domestic violence situations. And they don't require any of their clients to be involved in support services. And there's a reason for that.
Mandated services, are recreating those power and control dynamics that survivors are trying to leave.
And their executive director there told me that the Violence Against Women Act actually makes it so that they legally can't have those types of requirements, them or any other domestic violence shelter organization. And that means they could lose their federal funding because of that. And if they do, they can't stay open. Now, HUD says their goal here is to promote self-sufficiency and that they believe the housing first model encourages dependence on endless government handouts. But a lot of the people that actually work in these organizations fighting homelessness say that the housing first approach is actually the most effective way to not only get people off the street, but keep them off the street. And the city of Nashville agrees, which is why they're hopping onto this nationwide lawsuit against the Trump administration for these changes, basically arguing it's illegal for them to make those changes and also that it's going to cause a lot of harm. Now, this lawsuit argues that 170,000 people are going to be at risk of homelessness if these changes go through. And here in Nashville, leaders say that almost 1,000 people who are currently housed could lose their housing because of them. We're expecting a hearing in this lawsuit next week, but if they don't get the injunction that they're looking for, a lot of these organizations could be scrambling to get enough money to scrape by as soon as January.